my fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man.
I have today signed an executive order providing for the establishment of a Peace Corps. This Corps will be a pool of trained men and women sent overseas by the United States government to help foreign countries meet their urgent needs for skilled manpower.
I feel proud to have been in the first groups because I think we made it possible, in a way, for all the later groups by all of us sort of making it work. And I think we felt a little bit like we were part of this new frontier.
Landing in India in 1964, December 4th was like landing on the other side of the moon. And so I learned how to be creative and how to be visionary within a very tough environment.
Well, that first night when I got to my village and I thought to myself, what in heaven's name did you get yourself involved with? Should I go home? And I decided, no, I think I ought to stick it out and see what we can make of the situation.
My experience as a Peace Corps volunteer in Poland was much different than what others think of as a Peace Corps. But I think the challenges of being away from family, being away from friends, being in a new country, and dealing with all the difficulties of change and adjustment to a people, to a culture, were very much similar to what all Peace Corps volunteers have to deal with.
Peace Corps sends volunteers into rural communities and villages and towns where no one else would probably work. And we're able then to build the bridges of understanding that will foster friendship, that will foster peace, and build the kind of future that we all strive to have. And that's why the Peace Corps is more important today than ever.
One of the most important things of the Peace Corps is that you live in their communities, you travel as they travel, and you speak their language. And nothing was more surprising to the Fijians was for Americans to get on their bus and to start to speak Fijian to them. They open up in ways that are quite significant.
We are not just witnesses to a country's development, we are participants. We have taught English to thousands of children and teachers. We have worked alongside farmers to improve crops. We have taught computer technology to thousands of students and business professionals, and we have delivered AIDS prevention messages to thousands of young adults. We are on the ground, changing lives and changing history.
We were the first group on the ground in Eastern Europe that had a full-time presence. So what Peace Corps had done in the 60s, we did it again in the 90s. Every week, it seemed, we were going into a new country. We watched the red stars come off and the lights come on.
Peace Corps opening up in South Africa literally 2 years after the fall of apartheid, and being a part of that group, I got to be a part of history. And I think for a new South Africa that was going through the growing pains of racial equality, seeing African Americans and Asian Americans and Latinos and white Americans get off a plane, go into a community, and work together shows not only South Africa, but I think the rest of the world, sort of our best and our brightest, but also sort of our differences and how we can all come together for a common goal.
Through our outreach efforts, we have been able to increase the number of ethnic minorities who are serving in the Peace Corps. We have also seen an increase in the number of women who are serving in the Peace Corps today.
I think one of the things that has been so great about the Peace Corps is that it's really changed with the times. And I look at what Peace Corps volunteers are doing now. I mean, there's Peace Corps volunteers in Mexico where they're really developing more efficient processes and solutions to address technical and engineering needs in the country.
My life and my career have been really focused on international exchange, helping people understand other cultures, helping people find ways to communicate with each other across cultural boundaries, and Peace Corps was definitely a seminal force in that.
When I came back, my grandmother once said, when I'd gotten all these jobs in Washington, I'd started my career, and she had said, it was Africa, wasn't it? She looked me in the eye like that. She said, it was Africa, wasn't it? She had figured me out.
The bottom line for me is I think I got more than I gave, and yet I think I gave a lot. And I'm sure you felt the same way.
Well, we wouldn't be here in Congress today, I think, had it not been for our Peace Corps experience. And certainly both of us who've been here for some time are very passionate about it, and very passionate in supporting it and hoping it'll grow. I think it's really important for all of us who have felt some privileges in life to be able to give something back. There's many ways in which to do that. We just thought the Peace Corps was probably the most exciting.
You know, when President Kennedy, Sergeant Schreiber's brother-in-law, signed an executive order more than 40 years ago providing for the establishment of the Peace Corps, he spoke about a nation of men and women anxious to sacrifice their energies and time and toil to the cause of world peace and human progress. That mission hasn't changed.
Many returned Peace Corps volunteers have kept their volunteer spirit alive with service in the Crisis Corps in short-term, high-impact assignments related to humanitarian crises and natural disasters. In 2005, our hurricane relief efforts on the Gulf Coast marked the first time in Peace Corps history that volunteers worked on American soil.
The Peace Corps represents some, if not all, of the best virtues in this society. It stands for everything that America has ever stood for. It stands for everything we believe in and hope to achieve in the world.
I hope this spirit will grow, that hundreds of others of young Americans and older Americans will go overseas to show our best side, to show how much we desire to live at peace. There can be no greater service to our country and no source of pride more real than to be a member of the Peace Corps of the United States.